The media in a frenzy as President Trump doubles down on his threat to shut down the southern border.
Growing anxiety tonight along our southern border.
What Donald Trump through his Twitter is doing is starting to just close the border and essentially blaming Mexico.
President Trump claims that a closure of the border would be a profit-making move for the U.S., but in fact, that would be a huge economic loss.
Does he have the authority to do this, or is it just political?
Kelsey Bolar is a senior writer at the Heritage Foundation, and she joins us now to react. Welcome, Kelsey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, you know, this media coverage has truly been something to behold when it comes to the border. What do you make of the latest?
What's frustrating is when the media does decide to finally cover the crisis happening down on our southern border, they do it with an anti-Trump agenda. It's like a game to them where they cover the border crisis when they can somehow attempt to twist the story to make it out to seem that this is President Trump's fault, the way migrants are being treated, when the fact is President Trump and the Trump administration have been screaming to Congress, doing everything in their power, some would argue too much in their power, to bring all the attention in the world to the lack of resources they have to deal with the massive number of migrants who are coming on a daily basis. We saw this week over 4,000 migrants in one day. Former Obama DHS Secretary Jay Johnson said it used to be a bad day when he was dealing with 1,000 people crossing the border. So it truly is a crisis. And it's frustrating to watch the media cover it as if this is somehow President Trump's fault.
They almost do it accidentally when they're fair about it. The USA Today talked about Trump possibly shutting down the border and then said Texas overwhelmed by migrants. You see reporters standing in front of border gates as if they're getting the ground truth. In reality, oftentimes the Border Patrol agents, those agencies themselves, are never talked to.
Right, and what we really need the media to do right now is to go down there in person and report on what's happening down there, including the criminal organizations that are smuggling children and women across the border. Where is the Me Too movement for all the women and young girls who are being assaulted and raped as they cross the border? This is a humanitarian crisis happening, and you know, conveniently, the media ignores that part.
Do you think that Jay Johnson coming out and speaking and sort of backing up the fact that this is a crisis for the president, do you think that changes the media dynamic in terms of how they cover it? Because this is, you know, their guy. This is someone from an administration they respect and admire. Does that change the way they cover this at all?
I hope it does. That certainly was a big moment from my perspective, and it was certainly needed. He's someone who has been there dealing with this, and he's saying, hey, we need to get past the politics and realize this is actually a crisis. And the President of the United States, no matter who he or she is, can only do so much. It is really up to Congress to address this crisis. And Democrats consistently are trying to avoid talking about this, and the media really needs to press them. Well, what do you think? What would you do to solve this? Because Republicans, President Trump, have proposed solution after solution, and Democrats, all they want to focus on is collusion, delusion.
That's right, Kelsey, well done. You only messed up one thing. You pretended like the media and the Democrats were two different things. So you can next time just skip it, and put a hyphen in there and let it be. All right, Kelsey, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Kelsey.